Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So happy Halloween. But today, it's not meant to be scary. Today's meant to be hopeful and cheerful because I'm here to report another $250 million worth of stablecoins, USDT, deposited into Binance just hours ago. So does that mean a Bitcoin explosion or an XRP explosion or Solana explosion are incoming? Yes. I think something's coming. So let's talk about it, and let's talk about everything else that's going on in the world today. Let's do this. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The market bell is still going strong. The best bell in the industry. Starting with the U.S. market, looks like it's, I don't know, it could be red, green. Yesterday was a really good green day. Today, we may pause a little bit because of this man right here, FOMC meeting that's coming up tomorrow, 1st of November. Today is the last day of October. Unfortunately, October has been pretty good. That's why we call it Uptober, right? October. At least for Bitcoin, at least for crypto, we have seen some pretty good gains so far. But we may see a lot more as we see more money flow into the space. And the money that I've been reporting recently have just been from the whales, not even the institutions. These are just whales that's been holding on a lot of stables, and now they're bringing it back in, right? We're talking about billions already. But before I get to that, first of all, today is the 15th anniversary for Bitcoin's white paper. Not for Bitcoin itself, but for the white paper. Okay? Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever he, she, they are, you know, back in the day, they wanted to do something better. Okay? This was on the heels of the last collapse in 2008. I remember this vividly as if it was yesterday. All the banks got way too greedy. They were all about to collapse. The world's financial infrastructure was about to go into the dark ages until the Fed came out and forced them to take like an $800 billion loan and propped themselves upwards. Otherwise, everything would have ended in disaster. FDIC insurance also had to be lifted upwards from 100 to 250,000 because bank runs was happening all over the place. And they said that they had about 24 hours to stop it before the entire industry collapsed. That's how dire it was. But, you know, back then it just took 800 billion to kind of solve things. Today, it takes 800 billion just to solve like a month. Like, it's very different today. But anyways, that's why Bitcoin was created. Because, you know, you had a group of people that just got sick of what was happening, right? They knew that, yeah, banks couldn't be trusted, governments couldn't be trusted, so we need to create something better for the people, by the people, that can't be controlled by any entity or any individual or any bank or any country, right? That's exactly what they set out to do. And look at where we are 15 years later. If the creators of Bitcoin are alive, hopefully they are. Some maybe, some may not be anymore. I think they couldn't even imagine where Bitcoin is today. I mean, 15 years for something to be theoretical in a white paper to where it is now globally recognized and being adopted and seen as alternative store value to gold, which has been around thousands of years. Think about how hard that is to do in 15 years. That's it. That is impossible. Impossible, basically. If there was any percentage chance of Bitcoin surviving to becoming what it is now, probably near zero. But it happened. It happened. They made this happen. So we got to thank them for that. We have the best store value, the best decentralized network ever in the history of human existence. So, white paper, 15-year anniversary. Galaxy Digital's Mike Novogratz and so many other billionaires are so bullish on Bitcoin now as well. Mike has been particularly bullish for a long time, but other billionaires like Paul Tudor Jones, was it Bill Druckenmiller and Tim Draper and so many others, Larry Fink. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. They're all turning very pro Bitcoin, right? They're seeing it. This flight to quality, right? They're seeing it right in front of their eyes. But Mike Novogratz has been in this space for a while, CEO of Galaxy Digital. They own a tremendous amount of Bitcoin already, and they own a lot of mining facilities, and they're involved with everything in between, right? But even Mike thinks that the odds of approval for a spot Bitcoin ETF has gone up. He believes that it will happen. Approval will happen in December. He originally thought it would be next year, but now he thinks it's going to be this year in December. Although the products won't probably be out until next year, but at least approval will come this year. And I can't imagine. We already had a couple of fake pumps, okay? Cointelegraph reported that approval was done, and then we had a fake pump, right? But even with that fake pump, we still trend upwards. Then we got this ticker news about, BlackRock's ETF. Also gave us a fake pump, but then we kind of kept those gains, right? Imagine when a real approval comes out. That will lift us from what, 34,000 to how high? 40,000? Maybe even beyond. That's right around the corner. Man, it's going to be insane. The macroeconomics right now is overwhelmingly positive. Yeah, it is. I've been saying this for a while, but now people are recognizing it. This flight to quality, flight to safety, and having the most decentralized and secure network on the planet, they mean something. They mean something. That's why so many institutions and kings of Wall Street, the billionaires, they are all looking to jump in. They don't want to miss the next FOMO train. They're not stupid. They have hundreds of analysts telling them this is the time to be getting in, whether they believe or not, but they are going to jump in. And we're talking about billions upon billions right now, and then it's going to lead to trillions upon trillions in the next few years, okay? Overwhelmingly positive. That is 100% accurate. And then if you want to measure, some of the great things about Bitcoin, the fundamentals that I keep talking about, look at this. This is a brand new record. Has never been done before. There are 40 million Bitcoin addresses in profit. Most of you guys, if you stuck with DCAing and holding Bitcoin, you would be in the green right now. Most of you guys should be in the green. Last time I showed this, it was about 80%. 80+% should be in the green already. But now with the growing number of addresses, we formed a new record. That's amazing, right? And we keep forming new records. Records are meant to be broken. But when it comes to an asset like Bitcoin, this is how you measure the strength. This is how I know how I have so much conviction and faith in Bitcoin, right? While others are paying attention to what the lines say, I pay attention to the fundamentals, which happens to get stronger seemingly every single week. Every time I measure and look at things like addresses or the hash rate or the number of Bitcoins on the exchanges, right? Like these kind of things that you measure the strength of Bitcoin continues to get stronger and break through and make new highs. It's quite amazing. Here's one perfect example, exchange balances. You can see ever since Bitcoin topped out in 2020 in terms of exchange balances, it just keeps on dropping more and more and more and more and more. Okay? That's reality. You can't argue and dispute that. And that will continue to go down more and more and more and more and more and more until one day there's just not that many on the exchanges. That is reality. Some people refuse to believe. Some people ignore the facts, right? You can't ignore these facts. Also, recently I talked about Golden Cross. Okay, Golden Cross traditionally is very bullish, although sometimes they flip around. Sometimes Golden Cross means that the market's too overbought and then it could come down. But when you're coming up from bottom, it's generally not the case, right? So this person, CryptoCon, basically created all the previous times Bitcoin formed a Golden Cross on the daily chart, I believe. I think this is daily. It could be weekly, but I think it might be weekly. But it doesn't actually show. But anyways, you'll see that the first time we had a Golden Cross, Bitcoin went up 22,000%. Then we had a 6,500%. Then we had a 145%, which is little. Then we had a 580%. This last time around from the bottom, we had a 38%. And we briefly crossed below, and now we're above it again, right? So traditionally speaking, when we do form a Golden Cross, it's pretty darn good, especially when we're coming off of bottom, right? So where will we head to this next leg up, this explosion that's coming up? Where will Bitcoin be? Well, this may be where Bitcoin will head to, about $50,000. Okay, so we're looking at previous cycles when Bitcoin comes off from bottom, right before the halving event. Where does it usually end up? Around the 78.6 Fibonacci level. So if that's the case from our previous top, that would put us around 50,000, 51,000 before the halving event. Okay, that can certainly happen. If we get a spot Bitcoin ETF approval, I could certainly see us being lifted into the 40s already. And then it's just a matter of going from 40s to 50s before the halving event. That could certainly happen. Okay, so are we just moving according to clockwork right now? You could make that argument. You could make the argument. You just discount everything else. Everything else that's out there. Bitcoin is just doing its thing. It's just moving along. Bitcoin can't read the news. Bitcoin doesn't know that there's wars going on. Bitcoin doesn't know that BlackRock is about to enter, right? Bitcoin just continues to operate as being the greatest store of value and the best hedge against inflation that we have. That's really it. So 50,000, 51,000 around the corner, and then the bull market really starts, the parabolic phase. And how high will we go? 200,000, 250,000. If Bitcoin goes up to 250,000, all the alts out there will be up 10, 15, 20, 25x higher. Okay? I mean, it's going to be insane. Absolutely insane. It's going to make a lot of people very wealthy, extremely wealthy, and make a lot of people attain financial freedom so they could break through their 9-to-5 job and do what they love, right? It's going to happen every cycle. There's more and more stories. This cycle, it's going to be no different. All right, and then look at this. So right before I started streaming, I checked out whale alerts. Look at this. 3 huge deposits, okay? 76 million USDT into Binance, 75 million into Binance, and 77 million into Binance. Okay, you add it all together, what, to over 250 million. Oh, I missed one. Here's another one that's 75 million into Binance. And here's another 76. Oh, I didn't miss one. They just added more. Oh, so my thing got outdated. So I was looking at these 3, which is 750 million. And then you add another 150 million to it. So you're talking about 900 million, close to $1 billion. Whatever whale is doing this, they are extremely rich. Okay, so my 200, no, wait, no, I'm doing my math wrong. My 250 million has gone up to 500 million, not 900 million, right? No, 400 million. The Asians that are watching this don't hate me, okay? I'm not good at math. So 250 million plus 150 million, we're talking about 400 million. Okay, 400 million worth of stables, in this case USDT, deposited into Binance, okay? That's a crazy amount. That's within just the last few hours. So that's why I'm saying, you know, this is just the whales. This is just a few whales, maybe even one whale, okay? That is depositing this much. Remember, we have how much? We have 85 billion. We have 85 billion of Tether floating out there, okay? If Tether was used, they technically would be burned because you would convert them to cash. But a lot of exchanges do hold a lot of Tether. But anyways, there's 85 billion floating out there. I don't know the percentage that actually resides on exchanges versus the percentage that's being held in a cold storage wallet. But that's what's happening. The billions are coming back into the exchanges. Why? It's not like they're bringing Tether back into Binance because they want to sell Tether for cash. No. They're bringing it back because they are about to buy, right? Last time it was reported over 1 billion. Today, we're up to 400 million already. So I have to change the title to the stream. But that's exactly what's happening right now. Okay? The whales are just going nuts right now. All right, but doesn't mean all this money is only going to Bitcoin, right? Right now, we have seen some projects really pump, right? Solana has been pumping crazily recently. Solana was up 14% or 10% yesterday, up 14% for the entire week. Today, we're seeing XRP go up a little bit, about 4%, definitely decoupling away from some of the others out there, right? So maybe some of this money is going in or about to go into XRP. Okay, so what's going on with XRP recently? Well, obviously, XRP is in a really good shape because Ripple keeps winning case after case after case. November 9th is coming up. That's a big day when Ripple and SEC meets up once again. So that may be when they finally settle and SEC says this is over with. Or they may just pull the lawsuit altogether. So that's coming up. The market cap for XRP is also up about 12%. Okay. Quarter to quarter and 60% year to date. DEX volume also up, right? So everything is looking good. So that's just the beginning, right? And then there's other things that's happening. Obviously, the SEC thing is the biggest thing, but XRP is healthcare. I didn't even know they had a healthcare, but they're entering Dubai. They're partnering up with other investment groups, right? So they are going places. And talks about Ripple, having an IPO. There's a lot happening. So maybe some of this 400 million is going straight into XRP. I don't know, but it's looking good for the XRP army. Also, I want to talk about this Cosmos real quick. A lot of people ask me about Cosmos. They just hinted this could be huge. I don't know if this is utilizing some kind of dApp or Avalanche itself is going to enable IBC and somehow hook up. If that's the case, that will be pretty darn big. IBC is inter-blockchain communication. All the L1s within Cosmos can't technically talk to each other, right? But this would enable an entire new chain to talk to Cosmos, right? I don't know. They threw this out there. So this could be absolutely huge. So I guess we have to wait for it. Also, DYDX, which is a chain, not a chain. They were a DEX. Now they're L1 chain. They launch on Cosmos. So this gives Cosmos another DEX, I guess, to use because right now it's basically just osmosis. Everyone either loves or hates osmosis. Now you have another one that's within Cosmos. And then also I saw this. something about Fire Dancer. Okay, this has nothing to do with Cosmos, but this has to do with Solana. What is Fire Dancer on Solana? Since Solana is so hot recently, I saw this and then I looked it up. This is kind of interesting. Fire Dancer is a new kind of validator client that's designed for Solana. So right now, all the validators, of course, are designed by Solana Labs. Now you have someone else that's going to be designing a better validator client that is optimized for performance and going to minimize downtimes, obviously, right? So this will be like, I don't know what their plan is, but it seems like there's going to be two kind of clients running, and they're kind of like, they're going to be backup of each other, which makes it even more robust, right? Again, I don't know the technical, how they're going to hook things up, but from this article, it seems like Fire Dancer is going to be another kind of layer of consensus where you use these new kind of validated clients and they will integrate somehow with the existing clients and make it a dual layer, so to speak, and it's going to make everything even better. That would be crazy. That would be crazy for Solana. So yeah, you got XRP news, you got Cosmos news, you got Solana news, you got a lot of chains, a lot of projects out there that looks very bright right now. That looks very bright. But what looks even brighter is is the 400 million and plus more that are coming in to the space. All these transactions are coming in, and it's going to get more, and it's going to get better, and it's just going to be nutty. It's going to be nuts. All right. Let's do some Q&A. Got almost 3,900 people in here. That's fantastic. Let me scroll up here. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Splashing and Smashing says, man, I wish I would have put $100 in like I wanted to back then. Are you talking about 15 years ago or 14 years ago? Yeah, that $100 would have been would have appreciated millions today. Let's see. Jared Albright, good morning. Jason Mars hitting 1 million subs this cycle, George? Question mark. I think it's going to happen. It would be even more amazing, not only this channel, but my Clips channel, which is growing by leaps and bounds right now. If I could get that channel to 1 million plus subscribers too, that would be pretty amazing. Let's see. I apologize for my Asian math, just off today. New member, Speedy. Citizen Crypto. What's behind the lack of volatility in Bitcoin? I miss it. The stability is nice, but one can get the volatility return. Are you talking about just, because you want to trade, because you want to see it go up and down? Well, right now the volatility is out because I'm guessing most shorters do not want to really short Bitcoin. Okay, so it's too dangerous to do so. And it's so stable because most people are in the green, and vast majority of Bitcoin is being held by long-term holders. So there's just not that many people looking to sell. Is Cardano still a thing, Caroline? Caroline, yes it is. Yes, it is. I just covered them last night. They're very slow. They always are. Slow and methodical, I guess. But that's the way Charles likes it. What What is going on with the glitch in Binance with XRP? I don't know. Is there something going on? So I might be right. All this money is being used to buy XRP. Is there something going on? Let's see. Looks normal. Man. 16% of XRP's trading volume is on Binance. Coinbase is only less than 2%. And then you got another one. This is USDT. This is Bitcoin. So you got like 17, 18% of trading volume is on Binance. But it looks normal. The price looks normal. Do you have any new thoughts on Floki or what's going on with it? No, no. I've never, ever talked about Floki before. I had a space with them before. I did not like the person I talked to, and they seem way too corporate to me. It's not a meme coin. It's not fun anymore. They may have a fun name and a fun logo, but that project is not fun at all anymore. It's very corporate. So, yeah, I'm not going to be doing more research into them. Amino is launching tomorrow. It's a project I'm very excited about. I'm an advisor for, and I'm going to have a spaces with Drew on my Twitter in a couple hours. So, yes. XDC. I don't have any opinions, Joe Lamas, on XDC. I know a lot of people ask for it, probably because it's pumping, and other people may be talking about it, but I don't really have any opinion on it. I've looked at this before. Reject. You know, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell, you know, because there's so many chains out there. It's hard to tell what makes one better than the other, right? And I truly just haven't done enough research on XDC to be able to tell you that. But it's closing in at $1 billion, so they must be doing something right. Excuse me. Coinbase unstaked my ETH today due to California laws. Yeah, it sucks if you're in California, Texas, and New York, because they have very, very, very strict laws. And I'm surprised. You know, most exchanges can't even operate in these states. But yeah. $3,900 people in here. Thanks for being awesome. Also, sushi on the move. You know, I'm not terribly excited about DEXs. Hey, yeah, you're right. Sushi's up 13%. So we're kind of in a phase right now. You know, Bitcoin's not moving all that much. 34.2. So what's happening is a lot of people are now putting their money, or whales are putting their money into various projects that they think they have, you know, potential, right? So we have seen it with Solana already. We're starting to see a little bit with XRP, and, you know, we'll see it with a lot more. Toncoin is going up today. I'm sure we will see a lot more of this as time goes on, where we just see like random projects go up 10%, 20%. Like BitTorrent's up like 10%. That's horrible. Yeah, Arweave is up 23% for this week. I've always said I like Arweave better than Filecoin. Good to see them go up. So I think you're going to see this is like people will equate this to like a mini altcoin season. Really not. It's just whales DCing back into what they may have sold off, and now they want to hold them, in their portfolio again, right? I think that's more likely. It's not like we're gonna have a full blown altcoin season. You're gonna see everything go up like 20% and Bitcoin stays stagnant. No, we're nowhere close to that period yet. But I do think a lot of whales could be stocking up. All this money going into the exchanges like Binance, they're being used for something. They're probably just using them to buy up what they want to hold now, and for the incoming bull run. Jordan, I don't understand. Crypto Passion asks, Jordan, I don't understand why not every American moves to a different country where the tax is much lower. Why pay 50 to 60% on your tax on your profits is insane. First of all, because a lot of people still love America, and I do too. And second of all, a lot of people have families and jobs, and you can't just move away. Right? Even if you are a millionaire and you have the ability to, but you have your friends, your family, your kids have schools, right? I think you're oversimplifying that by enormous amount. And let's not forget taxes. I've learned not to be afraid of taxes. Everyone hates taxes, yes, but the reason why you're paying taxes is because you're profiting, okay? Figure out legal ways to deduct the taxes away. That's what you should be doing, not thinking about flying to another country. Now, there are benefits to going to other countries, and there's the benefits of other people from other countries coming to the U.S. too. Because I still believe this country has the most opportunities compared to any country out there. But with that said, don't be afraid of taxes. Find legal loopholes to deduct the taxes away. That's much easier. Cornucopias, isn't that the metaverse for Cardano? That thing is probably never going to be done. I checked it out years ago, and I doubt they're anywhere close, right? Let's see. Yes. That looks pretty cool, like Fortnite. It looks really cool, but is the game out? And I bet the answer is no. There's a lot of game makers, what they try to do is entice you with really, really, really cool trailers, knowing the fact that they need money, they can't finish the game, and they're nowhere close to finishing the game. And I'm pretty sure Cornucopias is like that. Because to develop a triple game like that takes years. Years upon years upon years. Did you see the new Honda Prelude? Yes, it looks like garbage. It looks really, really like garbage. I don't know. These car manufacturers want to bring back some of their legacy cars, or staple cars, whatever you call it. But, they're just doing a horrible job. Horrible job. I used to get invited to a lot of car events. Recently, I've noticed I've been left out of some of these events. I see a lot of people go review the new GX 550 or 560, whatever. The outside looks okay, but the inside just looks bad. Like even Lexus, I don't know. You know, the Lexus and Toyota, they kind of lucked out because so many people love them for reliability and dependability. But in terms of their design and their design elements, I guess, their interior quality, their technology is like so far behind everyone else. Isn't it crazy, NMCTS? Isn't it crazy that people are using more miners to fight over a preset amount of Bitcoin? I don't think people understand how little Bitcoin there is. I agree with you. Very little people know that. If they do, if the whole world knew how much Bitcoins are actually circulating, right? How little there is to be mined. If people actually really knew and understood that, Bitcoin will be much higher. Star Atlas got me Solana, and that was years ago. I'm sure that game isn't done either. You're right. I mean, there's so many games, you know, that I hate to say it. Even Illuvium just came out a lot of mini games. Their main game is still not out. Most of these guys, you know, they come out with a really cool trailer or a cool gameplay or something, and then, you know, they get everyone to buy in during the bull market, and then they use that money to try to develop. And, you know, developing those games are not easy. It takes years and years and years, and most of them are still not done, right? So that's the unfortunate part. We actually need some of these games to be in the space, ready to go, and they are that good, and they will draw in millions of users. That's how the crypto space truly changes, okay? That's how we get chains to truly decouple away from Bitcoin and stand on their own as multi-billion market cap, you know, projects. That's what we need to see. It just hasn't happened yet. It will eventually. Don't get me wrong. It's going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. Are we going to see a huge dump in November? I don't know about that. This flight to quality, flight to safety, I don't think that's going to change. Can we get a little weaker? Sure. But do I think that's going to happen leading up to a spot Bitcoin ETF approval, possibly in November or December, and leading to the halving event? No. I think we will stay pretty close to where we are, if not, you know, if not higher. I think we are going to go higher. I think we're going to end the year higher than where we are. If I was a betting man and I had to bet December 31st, where will Bitcoin be? Higher or lower than where we are now? I'm going to say higher. Here in Philippines, no cap gains taxes in crypto. Good, Tom. But that's going to change. All these countries that haven't imposed capital gains tax on crypto because they don't take it serious enough. They think, it's just, you know, just small number of people that's making, you know, that's trading and making money with crypto. But once the bull market comes and they realize it's not just a small subset, it's a large amount of people, and they're making money hand over fist, that's when the taxes start coming in. But basically, you're just gonna have to find ways to deduct. You can't just find ways to move out of the country as soon as there's a tax imposed. It's funny. I talked to a few influencers. I'm not gonna name names, but they moved to Puerto Rico for that reason, because everyone's saying, oh, you know, you moved to Puerto Rico for more than half the year, you can not pay capital gains tax, right? I think Puerto Rico, you don't even have to pay income tax or something. And then shortly afterwards, they moved back because they hated it there. It was just horrible there, right? So don't think it's like, oh, you move and all your problems are solved. Yeah, you could move to like Texas or Florida where there's no income tax, state income tax. You save a little bit there. I mean, that's legit. That's like 5% or 6%. If you were in your 30s, Jose, would you be degenning or 50, 25, 25? If I was in my 30s, still same. You know, part of the 25%, you could use that to degen if you wanted to. That's the whole point of that 25% is mid, small, micro caps, right? So you just want to make sure 75% of your portfolio is not degening. Because if your degen plays go horribly wrong, okay, at least you don't lose out on vast majority of your portfolio. So, I mean, that's still good. If you want to deviate, you don't want to put so much in Bitcoin, you want to put more into others or whatever, it's up to you. That's just a guide for new people that's in this space. I think it works very well, but it's not like the one, you know, it's not like everyone has to follow it to the dot, to the T. Everyone's portfolio is different. They're in a different phase of their life. You know, sometimes I've been showing you guys, I've been degenning, playing with some leverage and just like, just aping into whatever, Solana or Pepe or whatever, making some good gains. But, you know, obviously I've lost out on a lot before too. You know, just know that when you do degen, there's a high chance of failure. But the rewards might make up for it. Do I like the new Jeep Grand Wagoneer? I mixed. The exterior of the Grand Wagoneer is probably the ugliest of any full-size SUV, but the interior is so nice, and the drive is so nice. The Grand Wagoneer, I reviewed the Obsidian one, so it was blacked out. That was probably one of the most comfortable SUVs I've ever driven. It was really nice inside, really, really nice. And the outside looked okay because it was blacked out, the Obsidian one. But if you look at the non-Obsidian ones, the ones with a ton of chrome, that SUV looks really weird. It does not look right. So that's the problem. And that's why no one buys it, because it looks weird and it's super expensive. Never eat cheesecake with a spoon. That's so random. Why not? Why can't I eat cheesecake with a spoon? Treasury Department announces new Series 1 bond rate of 5.27%. You know why? Because yesterday I just covered Treasury Department needs to borrow more than $750 billion for this last 3 months of the year. Okay, so how are they going to borrow? By trying to sell more bonds and by increasing the rates on those bonds, so people will go buy them, right? Bonds are not doing that well. Short-term bonds, I think, are doing fine, but like long-term bonds, still dropping like a rock. But the reason why they're doing this is because the U.S. really needs money, and they need money. And if they can't sell enough bonds, guess what happens? The money printer starts printing again. There's only 2 ways for a U.S. government to make money, or 3 ways. Taxes, issuing bonds, and printing more money. That's really it. What do you think about this new digital passports? I don't trust them. I know a lot of people have been getting them so they could like try to get into Binance or whatever. I think that's all going to be shut down in the future. Debso. No. Debsbo. What about quant? Is it not to your liking or what? I've said this time and time and time again. Why do people keep asking about quant? Quant is not for consumers. It's for businesses. So consumers should not be buying the token that's meant for businesses. Quant helps businesses onboard their apps onto chains. That's it. That's their business model. They're almost like a consulting company. They're not meant for consumers at all. So that's why I've never got into quant. What about Ravencoin? Oh man, it's been a long time since someone asked me about Ravencoin, and I've always said no because you know what Ravencoin does? Ravencoin helps people come out with security tokens. They even say it on their website. I don't know if they gotten smart and removed that, but they had it on their website saying, you know, we help people create security tokens. And you know who hates security tokens? The SEC and Gary Gensler. So, yeah, that's why I'm not a fan of Ravencoin. Bitcoin is just so steady, so rock steady right now. I mean, since it pumped up to about 34,003, it's just been holding here. This is the next line we need to break. You know, it's kind of like resistance / support right now. But, you know, next up, we'll be at 37,000 with all this money coming in with a spot Bitcoin approval, you know, right around the corner. It's going to come soon, I believe. All right, guys. I'll let you guys go. Stay strong, my friends. I'll see you guys tonight. Happy Halloween. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And since XRP is having a good day, let me show you the most educational video ever created about XRP, about its founders, about Ripple, and you guys will enjoy this.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.